One daughter-in-law, two gorgeous granddaughters. She joined in 1998 to improve her communication, leadership, and skills. She's treasurer in Sierra Advanced Speakers. She has several clubs where she's an officer, 2 clubs. She's been Area 21 Governor, Division B Chief Judge, Division B Governor for 2 consecutive years. She loves the outdoors, nature, beauty around us, beauty within each of us. Help me welcome Nancy Potts.
In what size package does your inspiration come? Does it appear almost magically, sometimes when you need it the most and expect it the least? Does it fly at 25 to 30 miles per hour on wings, making figure eights, while fluttering 50 to 200 times a second? What is the small package creature who appears mystically, mysteriously, and inspirationally? Its name comes from the sound of its wings. Fellow Toastmasters, it's the hummingbird. If you're lucky enough to live in the Americas, you may have caught sight of one of my inspirational friends. These flying jewels range from the smallest, the bee hummingbird, weighing a little less than 2 grams, to the largest, the giant hummingbird, weighing 21 to 23 grams. Imagine some tiny species the size of a housefly. I find them inspirational for several reasons. In their lifetime of only 3 to 6 years, one of the 17 species of North America may have inspired you too. John playing softball, or Chris while kayaking. You may have been greeted by an uplifting, curious, tiny visitor checking out the colorful water bottle you sip from for refreshments. Bill, Carmen, did you ever reach the crest of a mountaintop after an incredibly difficult hike, then marvel as a tiny bird came fluttering up, down, sideways, doing flip-flops and loop-de-loos as it questioned why you were invading his summer home in the wild mountains? Jeffrey, have you ever admired a huge ocean of water, never realizing that the ruby-throated hummingbird feeds to double its weight and then flies non-stop across the Gulf of Mexico in a 20-hour migration flight? Russ, when you think of what a long journey parenting is, keep in mind hummingbirds have such tiny feet, they only can move inches when not in flight. Yet some hummingbirds migrate up to 2,000 miles from their summer home in Canada to their winter homes in Central America. Baby steps may force us to soar. Luckily for the hummingbirds, gardeners like Stephanie and Stephen have created beautiful feeding sites to which the birds return each year from memory. They consume up to 50% of their body weight a day. Hummingbirds eat every 10 minutes, yet can starve in 1 hour. They live mostly on nectar, and they pollinate plants while they visit between 1 and 2,000 blossoms daily. Their tongues can lick up to 13 times a second, also have grooved sides on the side of their tongues, which help them catch insects for protein. However, they need to watch out for the praying mantis, as hummingbirds are the only bird known to be eaten by insects. Like Dwayne, hummingbirds have big hearts. Their heart is about 20% of the bird's volume. It beats about 500 times a minute. Heartbeats vary, though, between different species and during different activities, and range from 30 to 1,200 beats a minute. I know hummingbirds make my heart beat faster, just catching sight of one visiting a feeder or out in the wild. Hummingbirds use visual displays to communicate with each other, just like Toastmasters use visual aids to help communicate better. Why else do they inspire me? I like the fact that they're scrappy. These tiny little birds establish territories and will fight to keep others away. The males fight to keep a constant food source, and the females to build a nest and feed their young. They use their bills and claws to fight, but they don't really usually harm each other during this process. Hummingbirds will sometimes even attack larger birds like crows or hawks. They're sun worshippers and love to take sun baths. They do this by facing the sun and fluffing out their feathers. They take baths by using a cup leaf, a bird bath, puddle, or even sprinklers. I'm inspired that hummingbirds are independent. They will not nest in birdhouses. They make their nest from plant fibers, plant down, moss, and spider webs. The nests are about the size of half a walnut, and they lay 2 eggs about 1/2 inch long. They hatch in about 13 to 22 days, depending on their species. Recently, while watching hummingbirds in a large garden full of flowers, trees, and greenery, I found another inspiration. Since I've mostly seen hummingbirds in flight, I never knew they did for most of their lives. Hummingbirds sometimes enter a state of torpor, usually during the night when they're not feeding. In torpor, metabolism slows down, saving up to 60% of birds' energy. So now you know some of the reasons why such a small packaged bird is so inspirational to me. It has a big heart, it loves the outdoors, fights for itself and its family when the need arises, loves to travel, never forgets a good place to eat, surprises and delights as they appear at the most unusual time, and it makes a difference in the world. The most important inspiration I've received recently from the small package full of energy and purpose is sometimes we need to take a break, a torpor, to conserve energy and refresh our strength, to be strong enough to do it again tomorrow when we are given one more sunrise in our short but valued time in this bigger package we call life. Fellow Toastmasters, the next time you receive a small package, as if the sighting of a hummingbird, look for the inspiration it may be bringing you.